Good afternoon, everybody. We're back with our second video in this series of unboxing, seasoning, and reviewing this really nice humidor from Woodronic. If you guys saw our unboxing video, really nice desktop for honestly a really great price. Again, the links are in the description. You could use my link. It automatically connects with my discount code, gives you 10% off. But you know, for 80 bucks, you can take this humidor home. I mean, this is really nice for $80. To be honest, it's probably one of the nicer desktop humidors I've seen under 100. You know, most of the things you kind of get off Amazon or what have you are not really nice, really cheap wood, really cheap laminate, and just really doesn't look this nice, and definitely doesn't come with a nice digital hygrometer like that. So today I'm going to run you through how I season a humidor still in 2025. You know, I'm old school, been smoking cigars for more than 20 years. There's a lot of ways you can do it. Some of the ways that, you know, I used to do it or used to humidify my humidors, you know, are long gone in my opinion, and I don't use those methods anymore, but I'll run through them all. So when you're seasoning a humidor, you can do several different ways. Boveda makes a season pack. I think it's 84% humidity. It's easy. You just throw it in the humidor, let it sit for 2 weeks or 14 days, and it's ready to go. Honestly, I don't have 2 weeks or 14 days or the patience to wait that long. Other way to do it is using gel beads and solution. So you can use gel beads. You can wipe down the inside, put, you know, the solution in for a week or so, and just wait till, you know, everything, you get a consistent humidity, you know, above 80, and then pull everything out. But the way I do it is the old school way. It's the way I've always done it for years and years and years. I use a sponge. I get the odor resistant, odorless sponges, small tray, and simple distilled water. I love the old way of doing things. And again, I just love the old school way of seasoning my humidor. So, oh, sorry. Let's get some water in our pan. Get our sponge soaked up with some distilled water. And again, make sure you use distilled water. You don't want any type of mold or growth in your humidor for sure. You want to keep it as clean as possible. Got a little microfiber towel sitting here to the side to keep my hands dry so I'm not dripping water everywhere. But as you can see, when you start to wipe down cedar with a damp sponge, you can see the color change. And again, this is a new sponge, so it may take us a minute to get the sponge acclimated and softened up and absorbing and releasing water. So you can see how that's starting to change colors. We'll get a little more here. Keep it squeezed out so we're not dripping water, and start wiping down our tray. The other thing too, guys, that I do a little differently, I've seen some guys on YouTube that do it, but not a lot, is I use a brush for all the joints and the little cutouts. And what I want to do is just make sure we get everything completely coated with distilled water. And hopefully you guys can see how that's changing color there as it gets damp and as our sponge really starts working with us here. And again, just get every aspect of the interior of the humidor, you know, the tray, the bottom of the tray. Again, a lot of those cheap humidors you get, you know, on websites, the bottom of the tray is a laminate. You know, this one, it's one thing that I was kind of impressed with, is this one is cedar all the way through. It's just a solid piece of wood, you know, whether it's the bottom of the tray or it's the frame of the tray. So I've been really impressed with this. I didn't know, as we were negotiating and talking back and forth, I didn't really know what to expect, but I've really been impressed with Woodronic. Yeah. I mean, is this $1,000 humidor? No, but for what you get for 80 bucks, this is definitely worth it. And again, I mean, I put my money where my mouth is. One of my employees, we're talking, and he knows I love cigars, and he's getting into cigars, and he was talking to me about, you know, getting a home humidor. And so what I decided to do was order another one and gift it to him. So that's what I did. And so here, I'll show you what I do with the brush. I just dip the brush in the water and I knock off all the excess onto the back side of my sponge. And just come in here in the corners. Just get the corners. And there we go. She's real nice and coated. Set that off to the side. Hit our divider one more time before we get into the main section of the humidor. And the one cool thing about working with Spanish cedar is that over time, when you get a dry humidor, you can see, I mean, it closes and there's some sort of seal there. But guys, as you start to season these humidors and get the Spanish cedar here wet, it will swell up. And as that wood swells, is exactly what you want it to do. It really starts to make a tight seal to help you control and keep the humidity inside your humidor. And you know, within a few minutes here, we'll start to see that wood swell and that seal just get tighter and tighter and tighter. But let's keep going. So as a part of this review that's going to be coming up, I'm going to test the digital hygrometer that comes with this humidor against a hygrometer that I know for a fact works and is one of the best hygrometers I've ever used, which is the sensor push. And the sensor push is what I use in my cabinets. I know they're right. I've tested them for years. I use them in every single humidor, whether it's the humidor I have in my office at work or the cabinet here at home, and in any desktop humidors that I've ever had. I use the sensor push. I really believe in those. They work really, really well. You can see as we keep wiping this humidor down, the wood continues to dry up, which means it's absorbing a good bit of water, which is what we want. I want to get this to over 80% humidity before I start to try to regulate the humidity and get cigars in. So, oh, look at that. You can just hear that swoosh. It's not slamming shut. It's just a good swoosh, pushing the air out. That's exactly what you want for that seal. And again, I know there's like water on the glass and things, but we would dress all of that up once we get the humidity exactly where we want it in a couple days. But for now, just trying to get the wood really soaking up some moisture. I'm gonna put this in here off to the side just so it's out of our way. Give our tray another good wipe on any of the dry spots where it's really soaking up the water. One thing too, as these trays start to soak up some of that water, they will swell as well, which is good. It'll help the tray seat on the ridges here, so, and be a stern solid fit. So again, I know this is a lot different than a lot of people nowadays. People tend to go easy and go Boveda, which, you know, I don't mind. I mean, I could easily do that. Just throw the Boveda packs in here. I just enjoy this. I think it's the best way to season a humidor. And it's tried and true. It works. This is what I've done my entire smoking career. And what we'll do from here, got everything good and soaked and covered, is I'll soak my sponge one more time, squeeze out any excess. Still want it, you know, fully soaked in water, but not where it's running out. And I'll lay a small Ziploc bag on the bottom. Let me get some more of that water out. And I'll just lay that soaked sponge right on top of that Ziploc bag. And then we'll place our tray in and close her up. Got some water droplets here and there, but it's no big deal. Clean it right up. And so, I tell you what, let me put my sensor push in here. I'm gonna set the sensor push in here just so I can compare from my phone what the humidity actually is inside and the temperature versus our digital hygrometer here from Woodronic. Right now, the digital hygrometer is showing 73%. And so what I'll do is I'll let this sit here for a few days, just like this. Come back and check it, make sure I'm holding, you know, above 80% humidity, and it's consistently holding that 80% humidity. And if that's the case, you know, again, all this visible damp wood won't be visible anymore because that wood will be absorbed all it's going to absorb. We'll then swap it to, we'll pull our sponge out, we'll pull our plastic baggie out, and we'll swap to Boveda packs. One on bottom, one on top. And let's just see if it holds the 72%, the 72%. If we're holding there and holding well, and the humidity's not fluctuating up and down, I'm gonna go ahead and throw some sticks in there and let them acclimate and give you guys a full review, hopefully by the end of this week. Again, in my cabinet, I like 67 to 68% humidity. So what I do is I split evenly, you know, in my cabinet 5 of these 360 or 320 gram Boveda boxes, So 565% and 569%. That pretty much gives me a perfect 67 to 68% humidity. So this is for 100 cigars. These are for 25. So we'll see. This is definitely too big for this humidor, but just wanted to show you guys what I use. Again, old school way of seasoning your humidor, still in 2025, but kind of new school maintenance, I guess you'd say. I love Boveda. If I had the time or the need, I don't season one of these things every day. This is the first one I'm seasoned in over a year. So there's no need for me to just keep a Boveda seasoning pack around. But if I had time and I did this regularly, I would probably just throw the Boveda packs in there and let it do its thing for 2 weeks and be good. But again, do it this way just because I enjoy it. Again, humidity is now up to 78%, so we'll check our sensor push and see how close they're matching up, and I'll be back for a full review here shortly of the Woodronic Humidor. You guys enjoy your weekend. Last note here is you guys just make sure you check the description. There's a link to the humidor if you're interested in purchasing one. If you use my link and code executive, you get 10% off that. But you know, this humidor, as nice as it is with the storage tray, the digital hygrometer, the really nice Spanish cedar, for 80 bucks, that's just, you can't beat that. So again, this $89.99, you get $8.99 off, so it's just a little over 80 bucks. So make sure you check the description, use the link, check them out. They got a ton of other humidors, so you don't have to just do this one. They have cabinets, electronic cabinets. So check them out. Really nice, really great prices.